You get on the airplane. Are you sick, maimed, injured, whatever? Yes. Good. So we can give you disability.
Correct.
What?
Yes.
This is insanity.
Yes, it is insanity.
But in order to get Social Security disability benefits, don't you need a Social Security number?
Well, we were instructed in the meeting that one of the first things we were supposed to do was sign them up for Social Security. Yeah.
Wait. This is unbelievable. So they come over here and they get a Social Security number.
Right.
They become legal.
Correct.
Are you pulling my leg?
Welcome back, Warriors. It's me, Linda B. Thank you all so much for joining me here today, Warriors. I have a Democrat whistleblower. Oh my gosh, a whistleblower that was in the Biden-Kamala Harris administration, spilling the tea on what the Democrats' plan has been all along when it comes to illegals. That's what I'll be talking about today on Chat with me, Linda B. All right, Warriors, you know what to do. Don't forget to give me the thumbs up, comment, share, subscribe to my channel, select all notifications. Stick around to the end. Let's go. All right, this is the whistleblower of whistleblowers. Okay, some of you are going to be shocked to your core. Now, if you've been paying attention, this may or may not come as a surprise to you. But to have someone literally come out and speak these words that was in the Biden-Harris administration, and for her to just spill everything, I am going to let you listen to this. I'll try to make very little interruptions, okay? I won't interject much, but we've got to talk about this, and I've been talking about it, but have they really exposed themselves? The Democrats, could they possibly be done? All right, let's check this out.
Wanted us to try to identify them in such a way that they would qualify for long-term Social Security disability. Now,
What?
Yeah. And long-term Social Security disability is for life.
Yeah.
So if they get identified and qualify for long-term Social Security disability, they are as good as set up for life for medical treatment.
That doesn't sound like a refugee to me. Just being honest.
Yeah.
That sounds like somebody who's planning on staying here.
Yeah,
A refugee
right.
stays until the problem's over and then goes home.
Well, that's right. And so they instructed us to try to identify, to try to get the client, because once they arrive here, they're now called clients.
They're called clients.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because clients pay.
Sure.
See?
Sure. I'm starting
And
to
so-
see where this is leading here.
So they told us that we needed to talk to the client and ask them if they had any headaches, recurring headaches, or any lower back problems. Excuse me, anything that would qualify them for Social Security long-term disability.
Wait. So let me get this straight. Part of the screening is supposed to be, are you sick, maimed, injured, whatever?
Right.
No. Okay, good. You can come in.
Yeah.
You get on the airplane. Are you sick, maimed, injured, whatever? Yes. Good. So we can give you disability.
Correct.
What?
Yes.
This is insanity.
Yes, it is insanity.
But in order to get Social Security disability benefits, don't you need a Social Security number?
Well, we were instructed in the meeting that one of the first things we were supposed to do was sign them up for Social Security. Yeah.
Wait. This is unbelievable. So they come over here and they get a Social Security number.
Right.
They become legal.
Correct.
Are you pulling my leg?
No, I'm not. And then after we processed them for a Social Security card, then we were to process them for a U.S. passport.
No, you're not.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So that's about the time I kind of decided, okay, I was done. I've heard everything I want to know. I was so angry about this, that they would receive a U.S. passport. It just, I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that we were giving these people Social Security cards and U.S. passports and free medical, free housing, free food, free everything.
Yeah, but the thing that bothers me, because the food we can recoup from, and the money irritates me, but we can earn it back and we can stop the program or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
But once you give somebody a Social Security number,
mm-hmm.
and you give them what's considered globally the golden ticket, which is a U.S. passport.
Right.
That
Right.
is beyond comprehension that we're
Right.
doing this.
That's right.
Do bureaucrats know this is happening?
Well, interestingly enough, no, they don't. A lot of governors are unaware of how many refugees have come into their state, where they're located, under what conditions they've arrived. And I believe this is intentional. I believe this is intentional. Now, we do know that the governor of Texas and the governor of Tennessee have both stopped this, and they're refusing to take any more refugees. In fact, they've federal government has filed a lawsuit against both of those states because they're refusing to take any more refugees.
How dare you keep your people safe?
Right.
But okay, so let's just say all the states are saying we want to pull out of this refugee resettlement program from the federal government. Then they're fine, right? There's no other way the refugees are getting in.
Well, no, the state can assert that they no longer want to receive refugees. And then the federal government says, all right. And so then they start implementing a program called the Wilson Fish program. And Wilson Fish simply bypasses the sovereignty of that state. In other words, the state no longer processes the refugees. That means, in plain English, you no longer get to know how many are coming in, when they're coming in, where they're going, how much money is being spent on them, whether they're diseased or not diseased. You've lost all control over the entire situation. And as a sovereign state, you've relinquished that. And so Wilson Fish comes in then, and all of the federal monies that are set aside for this program bypass the state and go to third-party entities. And that would be something.
This is crazy. This was under Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Okay, I know I've said that, but I don't want you all to forget that, because this was their plan. Okay, according to this whistleblower woman right here, and we're going to say allegedly, but to everything in this video, but she is giving up everything. And I'm surprised her face is showing. Now, I got this off of Twitter, okay? And this is according to this interview right here, that they have this Wilson Fish, or this some type of law that the federal government can override the state. So, like, if Texas doesn't want to receive any more illegals, the federal government can override them, and they have no control. The state doesn't have any control of the situation. The federal government does, and they can push as many people in whatever state that they want. All right. So I knew it already, but just to hear somebody say it and to go over how the federal government like overrode the state sovereignty so that they can get what they want. You all better be glad. I know I am that we have who we have in the White House right now. Okay? Because if Kamala Harris had gotten in, Lord help us all.
Something like Catholic Charities or Jewish Vocational Services. So it would bypass the state entirely, and they would take over the entire process of processing the refugees.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. And as a U.S. citizen and as a citizen of the sovereign state of Missouri, I am not in favor of that. I think we need to maintain our sovereignty just like we would in the United States. You know, honestly, we are first a citizen of the state of Missouri because
Right.
we are a sovereign state. And then we're a citizen of the United States of America. But our first sovereignty and citizenship is to our state. And a lot of people don't realize that. So in order for us to maintain the health and welfare and the security of our borders, we must know who's coming and going.
Yeah, you have to.
Right.
You have to. And FUNU doesn't work for me.
FUNU doesn't work for me either.
And giving them a social security number and a passport actually makes this problem worse, not better.
Correct.
Have we been placed at risk? I mean, you mentioned that this is an invasion.
Mm-hmm.
Are we at risk?
I believe we are at risk, Josh, because when they come in, we're urged to compatriate them with fellow refugees, those who have come in before them. We are urged to locate other communities of refugees from the same country of origin, the same language, the same culture as those who are arriving. And so when they come in, and we have had Syrians come in, and we know Syrians are on the list of those 7 countries that have been banned. And so we've received Syrians here in Missouri.
Even after the ban?
Yes.
What?
Yes. And so these Syrians are coming in, and we know that they are coming from a country of origin that has malevolent intent toward us as a nation. And we now know they're not being vetted. And we now know that not only are they coming from a malevolent country, or a country that has malevolent intent, and we now know they're not vetted, we're giving them support, and we're giving them a passport.
What name do they put on the passport if their name on the thing is Funu?
I don't know.
Wow. Okay, so I'm just letting you guys know that this came, I got it, this is off of Twitter, and the name is Real Robert. Real Robert. Okay, I'm going to let you just take a look at the handle again. This is coming by way of Real Robert. And this is something that we pretty much knew. Okay. But to hear about the federal, that's the part that got me, the part about the federal government overriding the state and saying, you have no sovereignty. We're doing this. Okay, so Texas, Tennessee, Florida, wherever these people were flooding in, according to her, an invasion, giving them a passport, the golden ticket. You've got Americans that weren't even getting this kind of support. And this is how the evil powers that be roll, the Democrat Party rolls. This is how they roll. They need a dependent class in order to be in business. You give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. Teach him how to fish, he will eat for a lifetime. Well, Democrats like to give people fish so that they have to keep returning back to them with their hands out. Republicans are like, no, you are a grown man, you are a grown woman. I'm going to teach you how to fish, and you go and take care of your family, your own family. All right, so we see the difference here, and she really put herself out there. I mean, I hope this is real. I hope this is like accurate information, because I don't know if I would show my face. I would not want to show my face. And you want to know why? Who owns the government shutdown? Oh, yes, of course, it's the Democrats, because it's what they wanted. Okay, they wanted to give a ton of money for healthcare for illegals and surgeries for people to mutilate their bodies into something that they were not born as. That's what they wanted. And people out here who are on the left, who don't know what is really going on, are saying, well, President Trump is a Republican, and the Republicans own, they're in the majority of the House and the Senate. They own the shutdown. But it was the Democrats. It was them. Because, see, they wanted to give all of this money and freebies away. And you have to have 60 votes in the Senate. Well, there are only 53 Republicans, not 60. So the Republicans needed 7 Democrats. They needed 7, and they didn't do it. I am disgusted that these people, this is their whole plan. This is their whole thing. And they don't think that we know. They're going to find out really how much we know in these midterms. They're going to find out. We have just over a year. We have 13 months. Okay, warriors? We know what to do, don't we? You guys tell me what you think about this information in the comment section below. Don't forget to like the video, comment, share, subscribe to my channel, select all notifications. You all be blessed. Love God, your families, these United States of America, and march on, warriors.